lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh, just you watch. I'm stepping into fate. There is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit. Step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. Like iron from the fire, getting strong. How legends are made. Love it all, untouchable. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I got the lightning inside me. Oh, just you watch. This is how legends are made. Like a titan that's rising. Oh, just you watch. Legends are made.
Race fans, hello and welcome to Thursday night. It is officially above the cushion night for FOE Enterprises, Humboldt Speedway, and 81 Speedway. Appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Going to be a great night. Going to talk to Alex McLaughlin from the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. Couple news and notes to start the show. Was on the phone with John Allen just a minute ago, and we are going to be rained out for Humboldt Speedway tomorrow night, Friday night. Been raining just a little too much today, he said, so going to have to cancel tomorrow's event for weekly championship points racing at Humboldt Speedway. We'll get all of the information out when the reschedule will happen for weekly championship points over there, but just breaking news just about 5 minutes ago, John Allen called it for tomorrow night at Humboldt. So sad to see lose that one, but I have a feeling that most races are going to get canceled for the weekend. The weather not looking good across the United States. So we posted it yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. We posted it yesterday. World of Outlaws late models are canceled here at the Speedway for Saturday night. They also canceled their weekend tomorrow night at Arrowhead Speedway. So don't like to lose the races to, rain and weather, but it does happen. We are in that springtime. So just to kind of recap, last weekend we had weekly championship points racing at both Humboldt Speedway and 81 Speedway. Tyler Kidwell kicks it off for the Rays Metal Depot USRA B mods. He picks up the win over there. On to your Extrusions Inc. Midwest mod, Matthew K., our defending track champion, picking up the win in your Extrusions Inc. Midwest mods. Home Savings Bank factory stock, Dallas Joyce makes it 3 in a row over there for your Home Savings Bank's factory stocks. Absolutely on a tear in that 7 car. Wilson Automotive Mini Stock Tuner Division, Robert Moore picking up the win in the 249 car. Had an awesome run in that 249. So congratulations to Robert Moore in that car. And then in your contracting USRA modifieds, Houston Johnson, Missouri, in the 97 car, picking up the win. Awesome night of racing. Good field of cars over there for your Army contracting USRA modified. So I'm excited, to get the season kicked off for weekly championship points over at Humboldt. Of course, Saturday night, we bring it on to 81 Speedway for all 6 of our weekly championship points divisions. Got started just a little bit early. It was a great night. In your alternative pest management USRA modifieds, we saw Tanner Black in a heavy competition with Brendan Gimmel going to pick up the win. So congratulations to Tanner Black for picking up that alternative pest management USRA modified win. In your Kansas Tow Company USRA B mods, Reese Solander once again takes it to the Sizzler, picks up the win. Of course, Friday night's winner Tyler Kidwell runs second. Your defending track champion Clint McFadden in third, Corey Janisic in fourth, and Slade Moore picking up your top 5 over there, or here at 81 Speedway. Going on to your JLR Property Management 316 modifieds, we saw Kason Carroll pick up the win. He'd been on a self-proclaimed 4-year bad streak, but got that 01 car figured out and parked it right there in the O'Reilly Auto Parts victory lane. So glad to see Kason Carroll picking up the win in your JLR Property Management 316 modifieds. And then in your TM Fencing LLC Super Stocks, no stranger to victory lane, Jared Reimer picking up the win. It was a heavily contested match. That the whole entire top 6 just absolutely on fire. It's going to be a great year for that TM Fencing LLC Super Stock division. Everyone is ready to go. All the cars looking great. Everyone is on go mode. And then on to your Rage Jerky mini stocks. Titus Bortsfield picking up the win. Wasn't without some competition. Justin Esparza, Rustin Allen, Tyler Griffiths, and David Bice, your top 5 for your Rage Jerky mini stocks. 18 cars showing up for mini stock action, mini stock tuner action here for your Rage Jerky. And just a great field of cars. Excited to get that one going this year. So excited to see if we get a few more cars, see how many hang out. Just excited for that mini stock division. And then, of course, onto your Allied Energy and Battery Incorporated stock cars, Jace Reimer. So doubling up for the Reimer Racing. Jace Reimer picking up the win. Defending champion Clint Smith, Bo Davis, Aaron Esparza, and Tyler Kemp in your top 5 in there. So once again, just a great field of stock cars for your Allied Energy and Battery Incorporated. That's going to be an awesome year. We have a great double points paying show going to happen in August for the stock cars here at 81 Speedway. So working on some points money for that one to get the pay up there. And then, of course, double points for everyone running for your championship in your Allied Energy and Battery stock car division. We talked about it. Tomorrow night at Humboldt, going to be a cancel. John Allen called just a little bit ago and said that's just been raining too much. The track can't take any more. Pit's not looking so good. So gonna have to call that one for Friday night championship points action over at Humboldt. And then, of course, we made the announcement yesterday, or the World of Outlaws made the announcement for the late model division, going to have to cancel Saturday night here at 81 Speedway. So double cancellation for FOE Enterprises, through the weekend. Don't like to see it, but can't help it. Can't control the weather. If we could put a dome over both the tracks and run year round, we absolutely would. Well, looking forward to next Wednesday. That's right, a rare weekday show for FOE Enterprises and 81 Speedway. Kyle Larson going to bring his high limit sprint car right here to the 3/8 mile in Park City, Kansas. So that's going to kick off your weekly action for FOE Enterprises, Humboldt Speedway, and 81 Speedway. We're going to have the high limit sprint car series here. We did have the Super Stocks on the schedule as a support class, but after a meeting with the high limit sprint car officials, they did want to take the stock cars or the Super Stocks off of the schedule. So just going to be your 410 sprint cars for the high limit series. Pit gate's going to open at 2:00, grandstands at 4:00, drivers meeting at 5, hot laps at 6, races going to start at 7:30. Tickets still available. highlimitsracing.ticketspice.com. So get on to 81speedway.com. You can get to the events tab and then go over and click your tickets for that. General admission $40 for adults, children 6 to 12 $20, and of course 5 and under absolutely free. Pit pass is going to be $45. We do have pit side party spots available for $50 plus the price of your pass, and you are able to buy your pit side party spots when you buy your high limit tickets. So click that link for high limit tickets. You can get everything done right there. Other non-tow vehicles in the pit's going to be $20 on top of your pit pass. So if you want a party spot, go ahead and get on there and get that done. And then, of course, $50 for the pit side party spots, and then plus your $45 pit pass. If you just want to park your car in the pits out of the way, $20 going to be the cost for that, plus your pit pass. Also, no outside food or drink allowed as normal. Clear bag policy will be in effect. And then for the special event shows, no stadium seats will be allowed for this event. We talked about that last week. So no stadium seats going to be allowed for the event for any of the big events. Normal Saturday night stuff is going to, we're going to continue that. But any special events, no stadium seats will be allowed. Dirt Hill gang, if on the south end of the grandstands on the Dirt Hill, everyone that hangs out down there will be allowed to bring chairs in to sit on the Dirt Hill, but you will not be allowed to take them into the grandstand. So the main grandstands, the aluminum grandstands, and then the north side grandstands, no chair backs, anything like that. So we're excited to have the High Limit Sprint Car Series. Of course, 81, one of 5 tracks in the whole country, going to have both of the top touring series here. Of course, we already had Rico Abreu pick up the World of Outlaws win just about a month ago. So we're excited to have the High Limit Series. Of course, a weekly series, going to pay $20,000 to win Wednesday night, May 1st. So we're excited to see them get here. Of course, Kyle Larson will be in attendance. That is part of what he is doing for his weekly series. He's running the midweek series. So he picked up a win back here in 2020. So we're excited to have him back again. Trying to pull up the Humboldt Speedway schedule here, as we will work our way right on over Friday night on May 3rd to Humboldt Speedway for weekly point series action. Of course, all 5 of our weekly point series will be in attendance on May 3rd. So Friday night, Ray's Metal Depot, USRA B mods, your Extrusions Inc. Midwest mods, Home Savings Bank factory stocks. We'll see if Dallas Joyce can make it 4 in a row over there. We might have to put a bounty on him. Your Wilson Automotive mini stock tuner, and of course your Army Contracting USRA modified. So it is going to be one full week of racing next week, starting Wednesday for FOE Enterprises. We'll be right here at 81 Speedway on the 1st. We'll go over to Humboldt Speedway on the 3rd, and then right back to 81 Speedway on the 4th, as we will have Alternative Pest Management USRA Modified, your Kansas Tow Company USRA B mods, Rage Jerky mini stock tuners, and Allied Energy and Battery stock incorporated stock cars. So going to be one full week of racing. Of course, it's all going to kick off with the High Limit Sprint Cars right here at 81 on May 1st. That's about all the news and notes we have for the speedways right here. We're going to try to dial up Max McLaughlin. Let me get this going here. Hello, Max. How are you?
Hey, good. How's it going?
Doing great. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you taking time out of your evening to join us here on Above the Cushion. Get started off. Where are you in the world?
I'm in North Carolina right now. Just getting ready to actually, when I'm getting done here, I'm gonna, get ready to pack my bag and hit the road here in probably another hour or so, and head to the Lucas Oil race at Georgetown tomorrow. So
is North Carolina? That's where home base is. That's where the shop is.
Yeah, the shop's in Statesville. I live in Mooresville, about half hour, so definitely not too bad at all.
Yeah. I was kind of going back through some of your pictures and your racing profile page, and man, you've really been in quite a few cars over the years. Kind of from asphalt to dirt, back to asphalt a little bit. Kind of who got you started in racing?
Well, my dad, he raced, so I kind of grew up in it, but I really, just raced for fun for a while there. I was a pretty good baseball player, and I didn't really know if I wanted to play baseball or race, and we didn't really have enough funding to race something too seriously, honestly, and that's when Nick Hoffman's family came to my dad and said, "Hey, we can build you guys a UMP modified, and you can run Nick's backup car." And that's I think that was 2013, and that's when I kind of figured out that that's something I could really want to do for a living. And I always loved it, just never really thought I'd have the opportunity and the funding to do it. So once we did that, and I kind of started doing it full time, and the end of 2015 was probably my best year racing. I think I had like 15 wins that year, and a guy named Al Hankey noticed me and gave me the opportunity to move up to New York in the beginning of 2016 and race big block modifieds, which I had never seen before, but I thought they were pretty cool. And so that's kind of where my career took me. But Al Hankey's been the biggest supporter of my career ever since. And he's been, pretty much that logo, that Mohawk Northeast logo has been on almost every car I've driven since.
Yeah. So, when you picked up those 15 wins, you're still driving the UMP modified?
I think I won 4 in UMP that year. I was racing at Millbridge, with the winged outlaw cars.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Larson was running. That was running. It was crazy. I mean, we had to run a C main at a Wednesday night show. And Rico Abreu, Kyle Larson, Ricky Stenhouse, Brian Clausen. And it was some crazy names out there, and won the championship out there that year. And I think I won a couple micro races, and then I think it was the wins were between micro, outlaw kart, UMP modified, and I think that's it.
Yeah. So, kind of, big block modified is not a car that we see, in the central states. That's kind of a Eastern thing. Kind of talk a little bit about those cars, because they're very unique, about the setup, how you get in them, how they're, kind of how the chassis is, kind of looks like, if you take the body off of it, kind of looks like a sprint car a little bit. But for the race fans around, the central region that listen to the podcast here, kind of explain the big block modified scene a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the cars are way different. Solid front axle, no 4-link rear end like a late model. It's just a torque arm, and they drive way different too. This is actually the first, since 10 years ago, 11 years ago when I raced UMP, the late model is the first time I've had independent front suspension on a dirt car. So it's been a different, learning process. It's been difficult so far, but I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit and getting a lot more comfortable as we go. But the big block race, I mean, up in the Northeast, they're like, cup drivers up there. I mean, that's all them guys care about. The Northeast region's all big block modifieds. Nothing else matters up there, which was really cool to be a part of for a while. And it was a lot of fun racing up there. Those guys are incredible race car drivers. It's probably one of the harder series and competition that there is in the whole country. Matt Shepard, probably one of the most talented race car drivers I've ever seen, and he's been lethal for since I've started. So racing against him, a guy like Matt Shepard, I think has really made me the driver I am today. Just having to learn from the best, and try to figure out how to go beat them and make your car better, and whatever you can do to be a better driver and get the job done on my end. And so it really made me work hard for a lot of years there. So Yeah, it's the big block racing, and it's pretty dang cool.
What size of tracks are you guys running up in the New York for with the big block modified stuff?
They have them all over. I mean, we have Brewerton was my Friday night track. It was a little bull ring, and then we'd go to the Weedsport. I think is a 3/8, a small 3/8. Fulton's a big 3/8, and then we go to Oswego, which I think it's a half mile, maybe. Yeah, I think it's a half. But the old Bridgeport was 5/8. It kind of ventures all over, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tracks up north. I mean, it's pretty cool. You can really race wherever you want. A lot of real close by. There's probably 5-10 tracks within an hour of our shop up there. So, but then again, you don't get to go to anywhere new. The series is pretty much up north, and that's probably the one thing that I didn't love about the big blocks is it's not a touring series, and I want to go race different tracks, and I just really didn't love racing the same place every Friday night. I just want to go on a new challenge, and that's what I love about the late model deal so much.
Kind of you briefly got into some asphalt stuff. How did you make the transition from the dirt to the asphalt racing?
Yeah, it was tough. I didn't really even think I'd ever race asphalt. So, yeah, we Toyota was pretty much the main reason we went. Al Hankey, wanted me to try some asphalt stuff, and we Mike Grieche was ran Hattori Racing at the time, and he reached out and asked if I want to come run there. And somehow we put a deal together on a couple races, and Toyota really came on board. And my first asphalt race ever was a super late model. Caraway for a guy named Dickie Woodman, just passed away a couple weeks ago. But I only had 2 asphalt starts prior to my ARCA debut, so that was a tough journey. That was really hard to learn. World, now pretty much, but at least I got a lot more dirt experience, and going to a different car isn't too hard. It's hard, but it's not as hard as it was going from asphalt, just not knowing anything.
Right.
So I was kind of shot in the dark, but we had some success there, won a couple races, and I don't know. I love the dirt. I went back after COVID and 2020, and Vic Coffey let me drive the Sweeteners Plus car, and we were able to go win what was Super Dirt Week that year at Weedsport because of COVID. And once I won that race, it lit a fire under me, and I knew I wanted to go back dirt racing.
Yeah, the Sweeteners car, that's a pretty famous famous name. Everyone correlates to Tim McCready and big block modified racing, and so that's a pretty legendary car. That's the kind of stuff that we hear about in the central states is the big name stuff. But like you said, you go up there and they're just local rock stars.
Yeah. It's pretty wild up there, and it's a lot of fun though.
Everyone kind of correlates North Carolina with NASCAR and asphalt, but really the dirt scene around North Carolina is huge too. Like you mentioned, being at Millbridge on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, and the half of the cup fields there running a outlaw cart or something. But there's quite a few tracks around there that are legendary for the dirt in the Carolinas area.
Yep. Yeah, it's I mean, that was the dirt track racing around here. Charlotte's cool, but there's not really any great racy tracks around here. I kind of grew up racing UMPs, a couple tracks nearby, but the good race tracks, in my opinion, are the Illinois tracks are really fun to run, like the Fairburys and El Doras in Ohio. The red clay just is I don't know what it is, but there's just doesn't produce the best racing. Now I will say the Talladega is the red clay, and I like that place. It was it seemed like it was pretty racy for sure, but I wish we got to race again. And but I don't know. It seemed like that place is going to race pretty well, but I don't know. It seems like asphalt racing is just the common denominator down south here. But I don't know, especially in the Mooresville area, that's all it is NASCAR. But it's definitely pretty cool growing up at Millbridge and getting to know a lot of those guys. Kyle Larson was kind of coming up through when I was young, and got to watch him. And Yeah, it was pretty dang cool.
You know, you mentioned Talladega short track, of course, picking up feature number 2 win just a couple days ago. You know, kind of talk about that that night and getting that win.
Yeah, that was just unexpected, honestly. I mean, I really didn't expect that at all. You know, that was my 5th late model start, and I mean, I'd struggled before, and we had speed. I just keep making mistakes. I'm just not used to it, not comfortable, and for whatever reason, I got in the car that day and just felt good, you know, and made a good qualifying lap, and you know, started second on the outside of Jimmy Owens, and you know, we played back and forth on every restart, seems like, and then once I got to the lead, I knew I was pretty good. I knew, you know, I was good enough to where the only way I was going to lose that race is if I screwed up in lap traffic. I was in the lap traffic at one point, and it was tough, but you know, once we were in clean air, that thing was pretty good. So it was really, you know, really cool to be able to win a World of Outlaw race, and you know, it's a dream of mine, and I definitely didn't really expect it to happen this soon.
You know, you mentioned just the 5 starts, of course, 1 start in 21, 1 start in 23, and then 3 starts in 24. You know, what were you doing in 22?
You know, I actually didn't have a start in 23. The 23 was a World of Outlaw sprint car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, I don't know. I mean, the one in 21 was just Boom Briggs, you know, called and said I could run his backup car. It was like the night before, so I drove up and drove it. But other than that, you know, I never really had a late model opportunity. So that was in Orange County, a track that I had just won at. I think Chris Larson, owner of Heim International, he helped out and bought Boom a set of tires so I could run it. So it was kind of just a one-off deal. But you know, Boom was like, "Hey man, I think you could pick this up. Like you're pretty good." And Boom and I are good buddies, and we talked about doing something else again. Just never really, you know, had the opportunity to.
Yeah, because I believe in the 21 in that car, you finished 8th that night. Of course, you know, ran all 40 laps, finished 8th. So that was a good night. Was that that car you were just on a path to get into your own late model stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I loved it. It was fun. You know, it's just so much faster than the big block, and you know, I learned a lot from the big block. Really, you know, have really good throttle control. I feel like that's one thing that they teach you. It was a lot of fun, and you know, just I don't know, they're just different animals. These late models. You know, I haven't really. I don't think I'm going to be the best on a cushion anytime soon, like Bobby Pierce and Brandon Shepard or Marla or any of those guys. I don't really know how to hustle like they do, but the big blocks have definitely taught me to be really good in the slick, and that's kind of how it was at Talladega the other night. You know, I don't think I ever passed you know, half, 3/4 throttle the whole race. It was really just on eggshells, and the track was slippery, and that's definitely where I'm going to be best at. But I definitely got to learn to drive like Bobby and them guys. You know, the Thorntons and the Pierces and you know, Shepard and all them guys, they drive incredibly hard, and that's probably what I'm having the most you know, struggle with, is just telling myself just to drive in there, and you know, just I don't know, it's just not natural for me at all. So I'm getting better at it, qualified better, you know, Talladega, and hopefully I could translate over for this weekend.
You know, when kind of looking at the Outlaws schedule, you know, what's some tracks that you're familiar with that you're going to go to that you're excited, and what's some that you're, you know, kind of looking at going, well, you know, you know, this is probably where I need to up my game a little bit. You know, what's some stuff on the schedule looking like this year?
I'm looking at about all of them saying I need to up my game. I haven't really been to any of them, to be honest with you. Um, that's pretty wide open schedule as far as not, you know, ever being to any of those tracks. So you know, Talladega was another place I didn't know, and I think it's just going to be, you know, getting a feel early, qualifying well. When you qualify well, it gives you a different confidence to, you know, you play strategy game at that point. Here's what I got to do if I get the lead, and whatever else. So I think if you don't qualify well, it just puts you behind from the beginning of the night. So I think the most important thing is, you know, you got to watch a lot of film and know where they qualify, and that's what GR really is really good at. Is, you know, he'll sit down and watch film and have me watch film, and when we go to the racetrack and we can see the track conditions, we pretty much know where I got to be, and he's really good at watching the track before, and he'll run over and say, "Hey, this is what you got to do in this corner. Here, he's diamonding it in this corner." And GR's just been a huge help to me, honestly. And he's really sped the learning curve up a lot for me. And I feel like we got a good baseline setup right now. So it's been a big help. And I think they gave me some pointers, and then after that, it's just GR and I just going back and forth on setup. So we've got a solid baseline so far. I think we just got to keep tuning on it.
When you talk about racing some tracks, what's kind of you mentioned kind of the dry slick stuff that's what you like, but what as far as shape and size of a track, what's kind of your that you look forward? Is it the big half miles? Is it the bull rings? What's kind of the tracks where the size you look at?
I don't really have a size preference, to be honest with you. I'd say my two winningest tracks ever in the big block were Volusia. I won down there 2021, 22 and 23. And then, I think I have 6 or 7 wins at Brewerton Speedway, which is probably the smallest track we go to. So I don't know. I mean, I'd say my specialty has always probably been the technical tracks where like Wii Sport Speedway has always been a really good, track for me. It's where I got my first Super Dirt Series win and won the, small block series race there at Dirt Week in 23 or 22, I think. I don't remember. But, any place where it's real technical or where you have to drive a car really straight, like Super Dirt Week, where it's wide and really fluid corners and you have to, really be super straight and patient with the throttle. That's probably where I'm going to be best at for sure.
Kind of go back to your very first win. If you can remember back that night, kind of, what track was it? What were you driving? Just kind of relive that night for us.
My first win ever?
Yep.
Oh man. 2011. It was at the Iredell County Fairgrounds in an outlaw cart. I was 11 years old, and I didn't really race competitively before that. Dad had a little dirt track in our front yard growing up, and I'd race like numerous laps a day, just out there, singing whatever else. But never really raced before 2011, and it was East, which is the outlaw cart's biggest race of the year, and I was able to win that in the box stock class, and still got my little Ferris wheel trophy. Definitely not going to forget that one.
You said your dad kind of got you started in racing a little bit. What did you grow up, watching? What was he driving at the time?
When I was a kid, I only got to go to Victory Lane with him once. Dad's 67 now, so he retired when I was 4, I think, 4 or 5. So I don't really remember a whole lot. But the last win that I was in Victory Lane with him was actually Talladega. In the Busch Series with Joe Gibbs Racing. So that was,
oh, wow.
I got a good picture of Dad and I was a little toddler, and Dad won Gibbs their first super speedway win. So that was pretty dang cool. And, I got to, Coy Gibbs was actually a huge supporter of my career. He paid for all my engines until I was moving up north in 2016. So Coy and Joe Gibbs were definitely influential throughout my career. And my first big block race, actually, Joe Gibbs Racing was on the lower quarter panel, so they helped us that year. It was pretty cool. But obviously, Coy passed away. What was it, last two Phoenixes ago? So November of 22, I think. And he was a great guy, man. It's without Coy and Al Hankey and a lot of other people along the way, I definitely would not be where I am today.
Talk about the setup you got now with the late model and your sponsors. Who's helping you out on the road? You mentioned GR, who is your crew chief. What other crew is going with you? Who's getting in the toter to go racing these days?
Yeah, we got kind of my own modified crew, to be honest with you. GR, he's been a big help and being hands on. We're doing some stuff a little different lately, and been really good. And then Darren, a good buddy of mine, he came down and he's been doing tires lately the last couple of weeks, and it's been going pretty well. And my dad travels with us full time, and he does a lot of fabricating on the car. And GR being the crew chief, and just the guys at Bilstein really help us out with the setup stuff. And Scotty's in the t-shirt trailer, but he helps out whenever he can. And he was pretty pumped up in Victoria the other night. That was pretty cool. And just got another one of my buddies that helped me last year in the modified. It's going to come down soon. I think start traveling with us. So it's actually going to look like it turned into an old modified team, late model racing. But no, his GR has just been incredible, with me so far. And gave me the opportunity to come run his car. He was just kind of done racing, wanted to spend more time with family, and I think he's really enjoying the car owner side of it, to be honest with you. So we're both having a lot of fun. And Al Hankey, Mohawk Northeast, he's primary sponsor on the 22 machine, and GR's got his two businesses, Victory Circle and Gambler Transport. And then Larry Donk with Armor Security, he's on the door. He's been a long time supporter of mine. Steve Sterling Lubricants, Maxwell Racing Oils, RJ's Excavation. He's another modified racer up home, and helped him with built him some shocks last year, and we became good buddies, and he ended up helping out sponsoring the late model this year. So just a lot of really cool people, and Longhorn and Bilstein, and just feel like I'm in a really good spot with the Bilstein guys, and they've been great to me so far, and just had a lot of support so far. So it's cool to see everybody kind of helping the new guy out, and it's cool to have some success early on.
Going through the year, are you going to climb in some different cars, or are you just going to focus on the late model side of racing?
I'm pretty much focused on the late model. I had a sprint car, deal set up for this year, and I actually pushed it to the side to focus. And this is what I want to do. This is where the money's at. And this is pretty much the cup level of dirt racing right now, and that's what I want to get to. I want to be able to win any night against the Thorntons and the Davenports and the Larsons and the Pierces, just the guys that are up front every night. That's who I want to be, and that's where I want to be. To be there, I think I just need to focus and get around Super Dirt Week with the modified, and I'll go back to Wheat Sport a time or two with the modified. But other than that, I might run Martinsville. That's my favorite asphalt track, but not gonna do much more than that.
When you get in, when you go race the modified and then come back, or you say you go race Martinsville in the asphalt car, what's the biggest takeaway that you have from driving the different cars and then getting back into your main car?
I don't think it really screws me up at all. I just gotta know, once you learn how to drive it, you kind of know how to drive it and what to do different, and you have that mental block in your head on not to do this and to do this. So early in my career, I think jumping around a lot hurt me, but now I don't think it hurts at all. If anything, I think it makes me a better driver. So any time in a seat is good seat time, and I just got to make sure that I'm focused and ready to go whenever we're going to take that 22 car off.
Yeah, I think that's we all see Kyle Larson jumping in anything and everything he can get into. So, a lot of people are just getting in, like you said, just as much seat time as you can get, feel every little thing, because it all translates into, whatever you got going on.
100%.
You're gonna be full-time with the Outlaws, of course, gonna chase that series. But you mentioned going to the Lucas Oil Dirt Series this weekend. What kind of other series do you guys chase around?
We're just gonna go race, man. We're not chasing anything other than the Outlaw title, but we're going for Rookie of the Year there. We have a really good shot. We're the only rookie with a win. It sucks that we didn't get the points for it, and didn't get to battle it out in that feature that got rained out. But I think we're early in the year, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, it was down to the point where I was just learning every lap, still learning every lap, but I just wasn't even up to pace. And now I'm comfortable, and I think that we're one of the guys with speed in the series, and I'm excited about it. So I'm ready to get to work, get back at the track, and go contend for some good finishes.
Yeah, you and I were kind of going back and forth, and I asked you to be on the show, and you were like, "Well, what's this weekend look like?" It was not very good, and of course, I told you that they were going to have a meeting, and then we canceled. But we were excited to have you here, at 81 Speedway, and our friends down at Arrowhead in Oklahoma. Of course, they had to cancel that too. So we were really looking forward to a kind of a dual weekend. Our friends of ours have the Arrowhead Speedway down in Oklahoma, and I know they were disappointed. They were wanting to have you guys there, and of course we were too. What's some things that in your racing career that you use to not get in a slump? You've kind of talked about you didn't have the speed, and sometimes what'll happen, we see it a lot of with our USMTS modified, is we see them a lot, that sometimes they'll get in a slump and then kind of get down. What's something you do to make sure that you're not getting down on yourself through the grueling schedule with the Outlaws?
I don't know. I mean, I was pretty I don't know how to put this best. I was expecting to get my ass kicked for a while, so I really didn't have that high of expectations, to be honest with you. So to win, like I said, to have a win in April on the World of Outlaw Tour, that's crazy to me, honestly. We exceeded expectations. As long as we keep improving and keep going up the uphill battle and the climbing the mountain up towards being a consistent front runner, that's our goal. So our goal is by June to be able to run up in the top 5, and I think we have the speed to do that now. So just got to put good, solid, full nights together, qualify well, heat race well, and just be smart and make good choices. And I got my simulator at my house, and Dad and I, mess with that quite a bit, just trying to, be consistent, make good laps, and he really helps me watching tape and figuring out the air. That's probably been the most difficult part. It was figuring out the air stuff with these late models, but I'm definitely getting it and moving forward in the right direction.
You mentioned the sim there, and of course the sim's a big thing that people use for testing. Of course, a lot of everyone around here just kind of messes around with it with iRacing. Are you on iRacing, or are you just doing mostly testing stuff?
Yeah, I'm on iRacing. So I do it quite a bit. Not as much I used to do it. During COVID, we were actually I was with NOS Energy Drink. We were racing on NBC, and it was pretty cool during COVID. I got really into it then, and they were literally paying the fields to run these World of Outlaws sprint car races, and it was wild, man. That's what really got me into the iRacing stuff, and been pretty into it since then. So I don't do it quite as much because I have a thing called work, so it kind of takes away from a lot of that. So but yeah, no, it's definitely a great tool to have, and I don't see any minuses playing it.
What's when you get in the sim, or on iRacing, and then you get in the car, how explain to some of the people that have not done it, how realistic is what you got going on?
I mean, it's the closest thing you'll get. They laser scan the cars, tracks. They just they do a great job, man. Truthfully, they do a wicked job of making sure it's as close as possible, and we can't get any closer. They literally laser scan every part of the car, and it's a pretty cool process. So I was there when they first. I did some of the dirt testing for iRacing back in the day when they were just first coming out with the dirt car, and that was really cool to do. And I mean, they've done a great job, and you see it translating over into the World of Outlaw video games now, and they're using all the same tools, and World of Outlaw is using iRacing data to make these video games. So they really were ahead of their time years ago doing this stuff, and it's pretty cool. Not only a game, but a great tool.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, once again, I appreciate you, taking some time out of your busy schedule to join us here and kind of talk about your racing career. Before we let you go, why don't you run down your sponsors that help you get up and down the Outlaw Trail here, and let everybody know where they need to turn.
Yeah, I mean, Al Hankey, he's our number one guy, Mohawk Northeast Incorporated, and obviously GR, and his businesses, Victory Circle and Gambler Transport, Longhorn Chassis, Phil Steen, Armor Security, Steve Sterling Lubricants, Maxima Racing Oils, just everything that they do for us. And he's been a supporter of mine from the big blocks, and it's cool to see a lot of my big block sponsors jump on board now. So it's just been a cool process so far, and a lot to learn, but definitely headed in the right direction, I feel, and I think we're going to be a force here soon.
Well, buddy, I really appreciate you being on, and hopefully, I think that with 81 Speedway, we're still trying to work out a makeup date for the Outlaws to return to the track for this year. So hopefully we can get that figured out pretty soon, and I'll come down and introduce myself, and we just wish you the best racing, and hope you can make it to victory lane again.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope we can make it out there, and look forward to meeting you.
All right, buddy. You have a great night, and be safe, and good luck.
Thanks.
Take care.
You too.
Well, we appreciate Max for being on, talking about his Outlaws, trail this year. Of course, he mentioned it, picking up a win last Saturday night in feature number 2 at the Talladega short track. So hopefully, like we said, we're trying to still work out a rain date for the World of Outlaws late model series to return here to the Speedway. So once we get that all figured out with the Outlaws, we'll be sure to get that posted. We need to go over with the cancellation of the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series. If you purchased advanced tickets, those will be automatically refunded through the Outlaws, so no need to contact the Speedway office to get that done. The Outlaws, all ticketing went through the Outlaws, so all refunds will be handled through the Outlaws. They will get that taken care of. Just kind of want to recap what's going on for this weekend. No racing. The weather got the best of both tracks, Humboldt Speedway and 81 Speedway. Storm clouds over in Humboldt all day today, kind of rain the surface out. And of course, the forecast not looking good for Saturday here at 81 Speedway. So the World of Outlaws World Racing Group making the decision to cancel for Saturday night here at 81 Speedway. They have also canceled for Arrowhead Speedway tomorrow night for the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Series. So, unfortunately, going to lose Oklahoma and Kansas tour right here. But hope you can catch some racing on Dirt Vision for the Outlaws. I believe they are at Knoxville this weekend, and also racingdirt.com. Going to get some stuff done, I believe, for USMTS, or I'd have to look that one up. So make sure you log on racingdirt.com, your number one streaming source. Of course, Saturday nights here at 81 Speedway. You can get all of your local series racing for racingdirt.com. We hope you can find a race this weekend. Might have to travel out just a little bit to get it because Humboldt Speedway, 81 Speedway going to be canceled for this weekend. Looking forward to Wednesday night, May 1st. We talked about that a little bit, but let's recap it. The High Limit Sprint Car Series is going to join us for a midweek extravaganza here, $20,000 to win. We had some people in the chat say that we need to get Outlaws on the weekend. Of course, we did have them here on a Saturday night, March 3rd, picking up that win for the Outlaws. Going to be the sprint car event here at 81 Speedway for the year. So we'll have to catch them again in 2025. But like I said, High Limit Sprint Car Series is going to join us right here May 1st. And then, we're on May 3rd, we're over to Humboldt Speedway on a Friday night for weekly championship point series racing. And then right back here on May 4th, Saturday night for weekly championship point series racing at 81 Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being part of the FOE Enterprises Humboldt Speedway and 81 Speedway family. Gonna call it a night early. It is raining here at the Speedway, so want to make sure we don't lose any power or anything happen. So appreciate you being part of it. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Max McLaughlin, awesome story as he talked about jumping in asphalt cars, big block modifieds, which of course we don't see here in the central region. So appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you very much. New logos out for Above the Cushion. We need to thank Braylon over at Midwest Wrap. She got it all fixed up. Of course, we unveiled the YouTube link. So if you get on the 81 Speedway, Humboldt Speedway Facebook pages, there is a link to YouTube for Above the Cushion. Of course, we are live streaming on Above the Cushion YouTube page, as well as the Humboldt Speedway and 81 Speedway Facebook pages. So just more ways to watch Above the Cushion. Of course, on YouTube, those videos live forever. So if you need to go back and watch some, Don Green was on last week. If you want to go back and watch that, you can visit the YouTube channel and get that taken care of. We appreciate you for being part of it. On behalf of JR and Katie Sartain, GM John Allen, and everyone with FOE Enterprises, want to thank you for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you at the races.